Welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharon.
We thank each and every one of you all for joining us once again for this week on Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. And as you all know, if this is your first time, please like, subscribe, and share our video. If it's not your first time, welcome back. And as you know, before we get into the title, we have to do the shout out. So this week we're gonna do three of our subscribers, and we thank each and every one of you all for every comment that comes through. So first is Phoenix Rising. Thank you, thank you. Our second is Dawn. We appreciate you. We appreciate your comment this past week. Thank you so much. And also 144. I appreciate you. I see you, and thank you again for your comment and subscribing to our channel. Again, thank everyone else for subscribing as well. Today's topic. Oh, before I get into today's topic, I want to say I hope you all out there who are mothers had a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, belated Happy Mother's Day to you all.
Yes.
And we appreciate you all continuing to be part of our channel as a mother and putting your opinions in there.
Yeah.
I appreciate you from one mother to another.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And can I second that, because she's my favorite mother. It's my birthday.
Yeah. So today's topic is, I'll let Sharon do today's topic.
Well, it's when friends become lovers. Yes, when friends become lovers. How does that happen?
So some of you all may not be able to relate, and some may be relating all too well.
It does happen, you know?
Yes, it does, and sometimes it can, and sometimes it's happening when you're not even sure that it's happening.
Right.
So,
right. Well, we're women, and as we always say, there's a million stories in lesbian land. We're permanent residents of lesbian land, and it does happen.
Yes.
But how does it happen? Because, we see so many versions of it. Oh, no, that's just my boo. That's my road dog. We're just friends. We've known each other since college. We used to work together, and she was the only lesbian there, and I was the other one. And
I've known her since grade school. She was my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
However,
look, our parents know each other. I mean, I hear the stories.
Yeah.
Our question today is, what happens when friends become lovers?
Absolutely.
And as women, as lesbians, as black lesbians, whatever door you coming through, or all three doors, I'm gonna tell you, women love each other.
We do.
We love to love. We are lovers. As simple as that. And we connect very well. Emotionally, we get very much in line with one another. It's not unusual, when you got a good friend, your best friend, for us to pick up each other's cycle, all that kind of. That's what women do.
Yes.
That's what we do. But when do you go past that final hurdle, and you wake up in the bed with one another on a Sunday morning?
I know.
Look, how you going to explain that one?
Yeah, well, for me, it has happened twice in my life, and in hindsight, looking back,
Really, twice?
yeah, it's happened twice in my life.
Okay.
Once in college, with the first woman I've ever been with. We were friends, and so our hookup was planned, and we were both curious, as she said. I don't know about that, because we got into it, it seemed like she'd been there before. But I'm not going there.
I've never done this before. I don't know that position.
So we had planned it. We were friends. We were planning it in college. She was getting her master's, and I was in undergrad at the time. And so I think that one was definitely what it was. But the second one, when I hooked up with a friend of mine, our daughters kind of ran into the same circle of friends, and so we were always kind of together, saw each other at different competitions and things like that. And but in hindsight, when I look back, I'm like, maybe she was always kind of into me, or a little vice versa. I was married at the time to my ex-husband, but I wasn't trying to step out, but still I knew beautiful women when I saw them.
Right.
But I wasn't dead. But you know, when I look back on that, I'm like, oh, maybe that was a little setup. So I don't really know, because that happened all so fast and so quickly. I don't really know how we ended up there, you know, in the relationship. I mean, now we don't even speak.
Well, that's for different reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, when you were friends before, it's almost like you should at least be able to speak because you have some stuff in common. But yeah, I guess you're right. That is for different reasons. Some people you just don't want to speak back to.
Ever again. Oh, she's no longer on the planet? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but the first one, I do speak to her via Facebook mainly.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't have a close connection, but we can talk to each other if need be.
Yes.
You know, it's no hurt in any way in that situation.
Well, let me ask you this direct question then. Any regrets?
No regrets. I mean, everything, you know, you do, you learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn who the person is too. I mean, you like, this person has been my friend since forever, but then you see them on a whole different, you know, level when the intimacy comes into play. You know, they were, you know, your ride or die, they got your back, but it plays a whole nother role when they now
all up
y'all
in your
in
goodness,
bed. Right,
all up
right,
in your
right.
goodness.
Yeah,
so let me say this about that. Back, you know, women, you know how we do, how we roll, and it is a certain kind of, and I don't mean sexual. I mean the kind of intimacy that we have with one another, our emotions. You got trust, laughter, hugs, hurt. You can take anything to her. She can bring anything to you. She knows your secrets. She knows your preference. She knows you don't like salt. She knows your favorite vacation spot is Hawaii. All the 1,001 things people know about one another when they care, love, connect with one another. Right. The only thing that is absent is the sexual connection.
Right.
So that's why sometimes it just happens.
Absolutely.
It just happens. She knows your favorite flavors. She knows your parents. She went with you the first day when you picked up your poodle. Right. Whatever. It's a million things that happen to us when you roll the tape back and say, whatever. Sally has been here for everything. Yeah. You know, her family knows your family. It gets so mixed up. And the only thing you know about each other so far is that you're both gay and that you enjoy each other's company. But now that one day in September, you guys kind of, you know, she had 3 drinks and you had 4. Right. And you wake up and something different happened last night. So fast forward, you guys, both of you are okay with the connection. It gets even deeper. And next thing you know, that you're partners, that you're lovers.
Or you're not okay with the situation.
Or not. But we're talking for today's show. We're talking about the people who, you know you, love you, connect with you, and you were
now
nothing
you're in
but
a
friends.
relationship.
But now you things have grown. Things have grown and definitely gotten deeper. Yeah. So we're going from the part of very, very good friends to now you guys are a couple. How do you deal with that? First of all, how do you get from A to Z? All right? One day at a time, one experience at a time. And you know, when they, you know, if someone to ask you like, well, make a list of the people who you trust with any and everything in your life, and the list, as I say, the list is very short, but it's well distinguished. When you put her name on that list of one of the only 3 people that you love and trust with everything. Yeah, you got to look at like, I really dig Sally. Right. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of what you want in a partner. Somebody who knows you, knows your ins and out, and knows your every secret. I mean,
However,
I mean, I guess it could go the other way too, but at the same time,
that's what we're talking about.
I know, but you want somebody who knows you know, back and forth. If something were to happen to you right now, and you were in an emergency, who could you call? You know what I'm saying?
That would come.
right. So yeah, I mean, I think that when you all are friends and you've told your secrets and she's told hers, and if you all still can find each other attractive, because sometimes when your friends tell you stuff, you be like,
ooh, I didn't know
you did that.
Yeah, right. Like,
you know, I
thought I knew everything about you.
Right, and it's not shade. It's just that you can't believe that they would have done something like that. So
more or less tell you about it.
Right, exactly. So the fact that you would know some inner, deeper stuff than most people would, and you still can be with them and, you know, have a great, successful relationship, that's a big thing. That's a big thing because
Oh, it is, and it happens a lot. It happens a lot
I
in
don't know
lesbian
who,
land. I'm just saying,
like you don't even know like every crevice of my life, and I don't know every crevice of yours, but I'm sure you have friends that probably do.
oh my goodness, yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
have two friends on the face of the earth who knew me before I was me, as they say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before I was all
So
that.
so I'm saying like
Yeah.
if I were to learn some of that stuff, I might be like,
No, there's been no secrets here. Oh, there's been no secrets here. My book, my life, as they say, is an open book. But
it was secrets because one of our friends told me one time, and she was like, "She told you that?" Like, yeah, she did.
you know, it happened so long ago. It's as though it happened to someone else. I don't remember vaguely, vaguely. You know, I mean, come on, that was so 1975.
Yeah, no,
you know.
whatever.
So here we go for today's conversation. I just want to ask you guys, what happens when, you are in a relationship, a friendship with someone, and the dynamics change, and somebody get the hugging, and the hugging got the rubbing, and the rubbing felt good. Okay.
Or the hugging was just too long.
Yeah. You can remember, here's the acid test. When you're hugging them, it's 3, 2, 1, release. You have no business hugging up on some woman for 19 seconds.
Right.
That's
exactly.
not a hug. That's a prelude to seduction. Okay. So seriously, what we're talking about today is we're throwing the question out to you in lesbian land is that what happens when the friendship goes into goes into another dimension, and though it may be welcomed by one but not so and regretted by another, or everything could be like, wow, she finally realizes how I feel about it, and y'all go off and be happily married for the next 45 years. I get it happens. But it happened to me one time, but we did not go off and be happy for 45 years. It just didn't. I had a lifelong friend, and when I say lifelong, I mean definitely only over 20 years, if not 25 and 30.
Right.
Yeah,
some people's lifelong. Some people's lifetime.
Well, the older you get, the longer the lifelong becomes. Okay. So when I say an old friend, I mean old friend. Just to edit the story, my partner had died years ago, and this friend, when she heard the news that I lost my partner, oh, she popped up. She popped
Don't
up.
they
big.
all?
Look, and she never said, "I'm sorry to hear it." She never did say that. So as I look
Well,
back,
don't they all pop up? That's all
yeah,
I'm
they
saying.
do. Oh, yeah, she wasn't alone.
Oh, right.
But so my experience with it was, we did have a couple of minutes together, and I'm sure it was just. I'm not making any excuses. It wasn't grief. It was just the fact I was, now I'm by myself for the first time in 15 years. Whatever, because I've always had someone in my life. Story of my life. So what happened? She had some serious. Plans for us, and I didn't get it. I didn't get that email. So so I think if I had to rinse it and put it in one little nutshell, just because I'm by myself doesn't mean I want you.
Right.
Now that's hard for some women to hear. Like, you ain't got nobody. Your
but
partner
if you
died.
were a friend, she's probably thinking she knows you the most, and if you all had that moment together, that's why it's so important just to even have the conversation afterwards, because it's like, where do we stand now? You know what I'm saying? You've crossed that line, so you can't go back.
Can't undo it.
But you still have that long-term friendship,
Right.
So you need to have the conversation, because it sounds like in her mind, y'all were in a relationship at this point.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, okay, maybe it shouldn't have happened, but I don't know what I was thinking about, because my partner had just passed away and she was here comforting me,
Yeah.
So that's the conversation, because like you were saying, you didn't get the memo that
I did not.
that she was down trying to move in.
And don't get me
much.
wrong. I mean, I wasn't under medication or anything like, oh my God, Sharon's not going to be okay. I was going to be okay one day, but not that day. And you still try to stay as normal as possible. You still got to go to work. You got to feed the dog. You got to pay your bills. Right. And if I were to think about a relationship with someone, it would not have been her. However, she was there. I was emotionally a little off kilter, if not a lot. I mean, when you lose your partner, that's a significant life event. So, having said all that, some people took it like, oh, gee, let's be there for Sharon because she just lost somebody, and she took it as, oh, she lost, she's gone, and it's my chance now.
Yeah.
And that just wasn't going to happen. And with that, to the point, I lost a lifelong friends because I'm just like, when I snapped out of it, and it was quick. When I snapped out, I'm just like, hey, this is going somewhere. I ain't trying to do that with you.
Right.
And if I am trying to do it, it's definitely not with you. But you're the friend I would have told that to, but I can't tell you now because your emotions have, you're full of your emotions, and so am I, but a different bag of emotions. I'm like, what the hell? How do I back up and get out of this? And she's like, oh, I got you now. I mean, she came to the house, she was cooking, trying to do my laundry. I'm like, whoa. That ain't what I'm trying to do with you. So
that's what we do, though.
In a crisis, lesbians, So I'm saying I didn't have a good experience with it, and as I say that, I'm not saying it only happened once. When it happened at a different time on a different planet, I was much more in a state of being able to recognize it and throw water on it quickly.
Yeah.
So my thing is, it wasn't a good experience for me because I lost a friend. Because I'm like, I ain't trying to marry you. I ain't trying to get hooked up and booked up with you. You can come over. We can hang out. We can have dinner together. But I ain't trying to do that. You know?
But you can say all of that. But if that's not where they are, because you all sound like you didn't have the conversation afterwards. So it's always mixed messages. When she's coming over cooking and doing laundry and stuff, that in most people's mind is a relationship. You're just not doing that for anybody. Or she could have been doing it because you were her friend. So the fact that y'all didn't even have that conversation, you thought she was doing it because she was your friend. Right. She thought she might have been doing it because y'all in a relationship.
Look, it got so deep so quick for her. She was like literally taking measurements of the furniture in the living room, like where hers was going to fit. And I'm like, I don't recall sending an invitation. You see what I'm saying? You see how things can go from zero to Shitsville real quick? And I'm just like, whoa, pump the brakes. Stop. So, again, to digest the story, the bottom line is we're no longer friends today. I think I did hurt her in a way that she's not going to forgive me. I just know. And, so it's dangerous. All the time, people don't just fall in love and go down the yellow brick road. Sometimes it's just they may want something that you don't want or you don't want right now. And, it takes a hold on, it developed into something else, and it just wasn't pleasant anymore. So at the risk of burdening myself with it, I had to let it go. I had to let the friendship go. Yeah. 'Cause I wasn't trying to go into... door number 2, and I'm going to marry you. Oh, hell no. Yeah. So, anyway,
but that's
that
the
was my
sad part of it. That's the sad part of it all because,
you lose a friend. You can lose a friend.
You can. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like you all were better friends than you were lovers, but when you cross that line, it's so hard to even go back.
Right. How do I put this in reverse?
Right. Exactly.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So we're asking, so how does it happen? How has it ever happened to you? And if the answer is yes, how do you deal with it?
Yeah. And if it has ever happened to you, how did it work out? Like, are you all still together? I would be very interested in knowing.
Yeah.
To me, when I look at all the friends that we have, I don't even think that if something were to happen to Sharon, it could be any of my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Ew.
So
I'll come back and get you. Ew. No. Let me say this.
Well, vice versa.
Wait a minute. We have some wonderful friends, so we ain't.
We do.
We're not throwing shade on anybody, but we also, like I said.
No, but when you think about them in that way, it's a whole nother. It's
let me say this. I don't think about them in that way.
If you had to.
But no, if you had to. I mean, I'm joining you. I'm not being rude. But
and vice versa. If something were to happen to me.
Because it happened to me.
They'll be at the door washing dishes again.
Well, when, when Crystal died, I was just really surprised at the people who did come to be there, hold my hand, and and just to keep me company and those kind of things. And there was casseroles at the door, and I appreciated that. So ooh, I just can't imagine, and it did happen. Somebody that you think of nothing else but a buddy,
Yeah.
a road buddy, that they would even talk to you like that, and I'm just like, ew. Ew, I'm serious. I just couldn't even imagine them in that role, other than my friend. But it does happen.
Yeah.
So no, just no. It ain't happening to me again ever.
She say that now.
I'd say that now. No, but Rose and I we do have conversations about, sweetie, I can't imagine my life without you. And she said the same thing, yada, 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 yada. But reality, one day, one of us is going to leave the planet. Okay? Yeah. I cannot imagine. There is no other Rosa for me.
Oh.
No, it's not. There's no other Rosa for me. And I told her when we
Y'all
got together.
mark her words. Something happened to me. She gonna be dating in 2.2 weeks.
I'm looking for somebody about 5'2", real foxy. You did it? No. That's my babe. No, but I really could not imagine my life. I wouldn't even try.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even try because I, as my mother used to say, God's got other people to bless. Mm-hmm. I've received my blessings and I'm living with her.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
think about just all the friends that you all have, and yeah.
Imagine it, or not.
I would say more so the lifelong friends. That's where it probably wouldn't be a good idea. If it was a friend that you just kind of met, who's been in your life, like, let's say 5 years or less, maybe, but your lifelong friends, they just know too much. They've been through too much with you. They just...
You can't even lie because
exactly.
They know you too well.
They know when you lying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I leave the planet. What would you do? I mean, you would hook up again, but I can't imagine.
I probably would find someone else. I don't necessarily know.
What?
I don't necessarily know if I would ever marry again, but I would probably date around.
Stay tuned, just in case when you tune in next time. There's only one of us. Know that it was no accident. Okay, I've been known to be a little clumsy, but if you don't see me around.
Y'all got it on film.
You got it on film. Y'all seen the ID channel. You know how those things.
She got all these ailments, and then she gonna end up outliving me. You know how that go. But anywho, for the sake of what we're talking about, nobody's talking about plotting anything to kill anybody. We just talk about when friends.
Look, we try to stay reality based in lesbian land. Things happen every day that we can't explain.
That's true. That's true. But when friends become lovers, just let us know what you guys think about that. Okay?
Yeah, because that's just interesting, and we don't know everything and everybody.
Right.
That I like to pretend I do. You guys out there in the real life, you know what I mean? Have you seen it happen? How did it go down? Is it working? Yeah. And specifically, would you ever consider dealing with a friend as a lover that once, once was just a friend?
Do you have any friends that you know of that hooked up with
Yes.
With old friends?
Yes, and I can't name names. It seems to be working for some people.
Yeah.
It has worked for some people. I just don't see me that way because like I said, sometimes you tell your friends things that your woman might not know about.
That's what I'm saying.
Or a different
know too much.
version.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'd kill them before I'd marry them because they know too much. I don't mean
y'all know who doing the killing up in here. That's all I'm saying. She trying to act like it's me.
I'm keeping it real because we are reality based. I'm just saying, my friends who really know me, they can tell you stories that Rosa can't.
Absolutely.
And shouldn't be able to tell you. But it's okay with me because I walk in truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm not one of the, she's lying. It didn't happen that way. I'm good at being able to laugh at myself. And I have done some things. When you're looking, it's the year 2021 and you're like, oh, that was so 1993. Oh, that was so year 2000. Because you wouldn't do those things again, I hope. Right. So those are the questions that's surrounding us today.
Yep.
And we're going to leave it here because seems like a good place to do that. Until next time, as always, we're wishing you the very best.
Of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And we love you.